Soul of Central Florida. The views and opinions of the following program is not necessarily those of WOKB, staff, and management of Unity Broadcasting.
Just can't stop thinking you.
Oh, yes. Welcome back to another edition of the 411 with Cora Miles Powell. Listen, this is an opportunity for you to get the insight, the info that you need, the tools, tips, and techniques, and the information that's happening in and around the community. This is yours truly, Pastor Michael, sitting in for the lovely Dr. Cora, and I'm wishing you and yours a very blessed Merry Christmas and, of course, prosperous New Year. Hey, listen, there's so much going on in the community today. We're going to make you abreast of them. And, of course, I want you to do me one solid. Tell a friend for those of you that are watching by virtue of social media. Hey, guys, I want you to make sure that you share, because, of course, like we always say, sharing is caring. So if you want somebody to hear what's going on, what's available in the community, and for your benefit, this is the place to be, the 411. Dr. Cora has always had her ears to the ground, and she seems to always know what's going on throughout the community, no matter across boundaries, whether they be racial boundaries or business boundaries. She's, as they say, ubiquitous. She's everywhere. Oh, my phone is ringing. Sorry about that, folks. She's everywhere and doing a lot of things in the community, for the community. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to get in touch with her, because one of our really staunch, how shall I say, promotion is for you to become the master of your own financial destiny, so that you can begin to dictate what it is your life is going to be like and how you can begin to empower yourself. I was listening to a Dr. Umar Johnson just a little bit ago, and I know he's a very polarizing figure in the corporate world and in the social media world, because he speaks very, very forthrightly and matter-of-factly about his commitment to Pan-Africanism. Excuse me. But in doing so, he's a very pro African-American kind of individual. And I was going somewhere with that, and I just lost my thought just that quick. But it'll come back to me, and I'll get it right to you as it comes back to me. I lost it some kind of way. But speaking of Africa, I'm just getting back from Africa. We were just there for like the last 2 weeks with the Archbishop. We were a special guest of the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams there in Ghana, Africa. And let me tell you, man, what an awesome time we had there. My wife spoke during a couple of services there. Then we had an opportunity to go into the city, to the coastline, to the what do they call it? The coast. Cape Coast, there it is. They went on to the Cape Coast. The Cape Coast is notoriously known for the site to where the transatlantic slave trade begins, from the coast of Ghana all the way through the Caribbeans and ultimately into the Americas. And man, wow, what a story. What a story. So anyway, we had an opportunity to be the special guest. I'll mention Doctor, he's honorary doctor, but the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. What an amazing man he is. I'm telling you, if you've never knew that there was a black pope, he is the black pope, because he's doing everything the Pope is doing. He's the bishop to bishops. He's the counselor to counselors. His voice is heard in over 40 different countries through their television broadcast network. They literally own their own television network, and it's called Dominion TV. We had a chance to do a couple of pilot programs for that, but they're going into 40 different countries. So that's one aspect of their entrepreneurial efforts, because they like myself believe in empowering our people to become the masters of their own financial destiny, that not to leave it up to chance. Now, to go back to what I was about to say about Umar Johnson, one of the things he was saying as he's building a school here in America, one of the things that I like what he says is that they are building, they're not necessarily modeling the typical public and what's the charter school type model. He's literally preparing American men, I should say, how to appreciate their own destiny and their own legacy, their lineage, how to identify who they are. Because through the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery here in America, our identity has obviously been affected. There is no way you can go through 400 years of slavery, oppression, and suppression and being maligned. Did you not know that blacks in America at one time were only considered to be 3/5 human? And as such, that's what gave them the wherewithal and the mentality to say that we were worthy of being worker bees, that we were worthy of being slave property, a chattel, as it were, property of another man. So anyway, going beyond that, they're counteracting the effects of slavery. You know, if a man can go to say to Afghanistan, or go to Pakistan, one of the war fronts, if he can go there for 30 days, maybe 2 months, usually I think they deploy them for 3 months, I believe it is. Glenn, have you been in the Army? Were you in the service? Well, I was just thinking, they deploy them, I think it's 3 months. The tour is about 3 months. I know it's more than...
It's about 3 or 6, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 3 to 6 months deployment. The reason I say that is that they can go, and shout out to all of our service men and women who protect this country. We love you and appreciate you. But none still, the comparison that I wanted to make is that if they can go away for 6 months, let's just use 6 months. They go away for 6 months to do their tour, the military tour, in whatever country, and they come back and they're suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, right? PTSD. I got it backwards. Post-traumatic stress disorder. If they're suffering with that from only 3 to 6 months of engagement, hostile engagement, and they can come back with that sort of dis-ease or that sort of dysfunction or malady in their lives, then think what can happen after 400 years. 400 years of oppression, 400 years of dealing with pain, suffering, and being snatched away from your homeland, snatched away from your family, snatched away from your children, from your husband, your wife, or your nation, your native tongue. And everything about you has been taken away. And it's been done that way for over 400 years. You know, if you can get post-traumatic stress disorder from 6 months of tour duty in the military, then certainly after 400 years, there's a high probability of there being some residual effects of slavery. You know, it's not been, we don't want to use it for, a crutch to justify whatever it is we are not doing or are doing. But the reality is that there has to be some sort of residual effect stemming from our legacy of slavery here in America. And one of the things that I love about that he said is that when it comes to reparations, that what African Americans deserve goes well beyond dollars and cents. You need more than just dollars. Matter of fact, I mean, if you get $1 million, they say it's something around every African American could get around $250,000, $250,000. Well, if I get $250,000, I pretty much know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go out and buy some Jordans. I'm not going to go buy a house. I'm not going to go buy a car. Most likely what I will do is find a way to put that money to work. But that's because I have trained myself. I have intentionally indoctrinated myself to the extent that I expect money to work for me rather than I work for it. But millions of us don't even know that money can go to work for us. Did you not know that you don't have to be every Monday? You don't have to dread Monday mornings because you have to get out of the bed early in the morning, get in the traffic, and all of the things you have to do to go to work and spend 8 to 10 hours, maybe 12 hours at the office trying to get a check. How wonderful it would be, or how wonderful would it be if you could literally stay in bed on Monday and let your money go to work? Tell it to get up early. Be there at the stock market and ready to go when it opens and make money while you're resting, while you're sleeping. We haven't been taught that. Not just us as African Americans, but just in general. The public schools don't teach you how to become financially secure, how to become financially independent, how to discover self-esteem and self-worth. You're not going to get that in public schools. And again, this is why I shout out Dr. Umar Johnson on his efforts to build an institute that will instill self-worth and value in each of the students they can not just appreciate themselves and have high self-esteem and high value and high worth, but teach them ethics, teach them how to be ethical, how to be integral, how to be a man of your word, how to be a woman of your word, and then, of course, be the master of your own destiny. I think that's commendable. Now, of course, that's because, again, I came back. I'm just back from Ghana, Africa. I just toured all of the horrific scenes of slavery and the slave trade that exists there. I went to the door of no return. If you've ever been there, you know what I'm talking about, that it's a dungeon that has no lighting, very little ventilation, no lighting, no sunlight, no lights whatsoever. A dungeon. Just imagine a room that is about 10 by 10 with about 100 people stacked in there shoulder to shoulder with no way to escape and no way to relieve themselves. It's ridiculously horrific, the things that they had to suffer. But if you've ever witnessed that, then you will come back with a renewed determination that not another day will I live in subjectivity to someone else's wishes for my life. Not another day will I live under subjugation to someone else's agenda for my life. And so again, shout out to Umar Johnson. Shout out to the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams there in Accra, Ghana. And they're doing an amazing work there through all 7 mountains. They've got their own broadcasting station. They've got their own university. I'm not just talking about in name, a literal university, liberal arts university. They've got preschool, they've got primary school, they've got high school, they've got so the whole education is completely covered there from kindergarten all the way up to your BS degree in the university there. And then they've got their own medical facilities right there on campus. My daughter when we were there, she had some kind of reaction of some sort, and she was nausea. And so it was a good thing because the church that we were at had their own medical facilities right there on the campus. So all we had to do is make a call, say, listen, can we get a doctor over to tend to my daughter? And that only took a few seconds. The next thing you know, here comes a doctor ready to facilitate my daughter and get her all the medical attention that she needed. But it's right there on the campus. Didn't have to go down the street, didn't have to go across town. Everything is right there on campus. And then, not to mention, they've got their own housing. Beautiful apartment complex, multi-level apartment complex right there on the property. So we're talking about probably a good, I want to say maybe 20, 30 acres of land there, because there's another plot of land that they use for crusades at night. Like when we were there, we had over 30,000 people. 30,000 people in one church service. Can you imagine when the altar call was made, they had at least about 500 people coming down for the altar call, and it was an amazing sight. But they had 30,000 chairs set out in their in the outdoor arena. So shout out again to the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams for the great things he's doing right there in Accra, Ghana, and everyone else. A shout out to everybody else here in America that's doing the same thing. I think that there is an awakening. There is an awakening that is happening amongst our people of African descent and the African diaspora. And we're coming into, whether like it or not, but by God's divine purpose and intentionality, we are coming into our wealth, and we're coming into our prosperity. We're coming into and to receive everything that was taken from us. We're getting that back plus interest. So that is the way that it is. Again, I want to say that I didn't want to bring the spirit of Christmas down with, but I want you to understand it's just something that's very, very near and dear and passionate. I'm very passionate about, because there's no other group of people who have suffered loss and disenfranchisement, who's been left out of the innovation and the revolutions that have taken place within our country more than us. And I think it's high time that we begin to recover and rediscover the greatness of who we are. Did you not know, and where concerns, speaking of lights, if it comes, most people think, Thomas Edison invented the traffic light or the light, but check your history. Traffic lights, washing machines, all the sorts of inventions that were made by African men that were stolen from them and given to to Caucasians. And that's what history tells us. Incidentally, and I'll say this last thing, and we're going to move on to some uplifting Christmas music. I think we got Brother Jeff Brown. Did I get it right? Jeff Brown. J.K. Brown, or John K. Brown. I think I got it right. John K. Brown. He's going to come up in just a moment. But again, this is an opportunity for us to rise up and really begin to live out the true meaning of our own existence. And I'm excited about it, because there are some great things that are in store for us in the days to come. Let me just go ahead and take a quick break. And when I get back, we're going to be talking about some of the things going on. Clean Cloud, of course, that's one of our sponsors. And listen, if you have not seen Clean Cloud, you've not gone by and taken part in their clinical research that they're doing free of charge. I mean, if you've got loved ones that are advanced in age, and you think that possibly they're dealing with some level of mental issues, you need to check out Clean Cloud. We'll talk about it once we get back. Who's that, John? John Brown coming at you.
Jesus, a little time of my Savior, a little time of Jesus, a little time of my Lord. Come on, let's hit verse 2. For Christ is born of Mary and gathered on above, while mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch over wandering love. Oh, morning stars together proclaim the holy birth, and praises sing to God the King. Hallelujah. And peace to men on earth. What's his name, y'all? Come on. A little time of Jesus, a little time of my Savior, a little time of Jesus, a little time of my Lord. Listen, all the men, sing with me. God rescue Mary, gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. And when they came to Bethlehem, where our Savior lay, they found him in a manger where oxen fed on hay. His mother Mary kneeled down unto the Lord to pray. Oh, tidings of comfort comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Yeah.
Joy,
y'all. Listen, let's do one more, make it universal.
Should all acquaintance be forgot
Make them bells, brother.
and never brought to mind.
Listen, don't forget who needs to be first.
All acquaintance be forgot and never
Make a new with Jesus. Come on, sing.
for all anxiety.
Stop it.
For all anxiety.
Put some kindness in your heart this year.
Take a cup of kindness yet for all.
Put Jesus first in your life. See, we want to talk to everybody on this one. Bring my cake back in.
Peace to man on Emmanuel. A little time of Jesus. A little time of my Savior.
Hallelujah.
A little time. What a a little time.
That's John K. Brown.
We gotta
Oh, and they tell me that's all a cappella right there. Beatboxing, singing background vocals. That sounds like a whole band. Man, that's great music. John K. Brown Christmas Offering. So, hey, listen, if you can get a hold of it, go out, get it, or download it, add it to your Christmas playlist, and enjoy the music of John K. Brown for Christmas. Hey, listen, again, cannot let a broadcast go by without, again, encouraging you to get in touch with the good folks over at CMJ Resources. Why? Because, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to become the master of your own destiny, you have to be the owner of something. You have to be a CEO or a private owner of some sort of business so that God can begin to use that business, put his grace on that business to bring you clientele and customers from all over to partition your business and to prosper it, because that's the only way that you can begin to determine your own worth and value. You begin to determine your own wealth and value. Again, when you leave the mentality of an employer or employee rather, and move into the realm of the employer, then you begin to see that you can determine your own financial destiny. I mean, the public schools do not teach you how to become independently wealthy. As a matter of fact, they teach you how to become a employee, not an employer. You know the old saying, go to school, get an education so that you can get a good job. Well, there's nothing wrong with having a good job. I mean, if you have a job and it's good and you enjoy it, then enjoy it. But again, understand that working for someone automatically puts a glass ceiling on the level of worth and value that you can bring to your own life and to your own family. So that's why I always advocate for going out and starting your own business and doing it now. Do it now, even if you don't have the equipment to operate the business. Get it on paper, get it registered with the state. And then by that, then you can see God supernaturally start bringing people and resources to you so that you can begin to further your own vision. But if you don't do anything, you get nothing. In the words of the great Billy Preston, he said, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. He never prophesied more powerful word than that. If you keep doing nothing, that's exactly what you're going to get. Nothing. All right. So in order to help you do that, to get something happening for your life, you need to get in touch with the good folks over at CMJ Resources. If you are computer savvy, you can log on at www.cmjresources.org. That's www.cmjresources.org. Check out and make an appointment with them so that they can discuss your entrepreneurial endeavors or your aspirations. And sometimes they can help you identify what it is you actually want to do. Some people say, I want to have a job. I want to have my own business. I just don't know how to go about getting it started. Well, that's why you have to call them right now and get in touch with them at 407-340-3067. And guess what? Don't let your age be your cage. Y'all better write that one down. That'll preach right there. Don't let your age be your cage. You're never too old to start your own business. You're never too old to begin to take control of your own destiny. You know, there are people that are going back to the university, they're going back to college right now to further their education at the age of 50, 60 years of age. I'm not going to say 60 years old because I'm getting closer to 60 years. I'm saying 60 years of age. Okay, let's get rid of the old part because, you know, if you think you're old, you're going to be old. But I've got this well of effervescence. There it is. I couldn't get it out. So it's welling up on the inside of me, and I love life. I enjoy life, and I'm expecting to do everything I can possibly do to manifest everything that is for my life. My mantra is the words of Jesus. He says in John 10:10, "The thief cometh but for to steal, kill, and to destroy. But I have come." Now you get to choose. He says, "But I have come that you might have life." Now, there's a thief that has come to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come that you might have life, and that more abundantly. So I'm getting with the life part. That's what I'm going to begin to tailor my life after. Life and that more abundantly. Forget about the thief who comes to steal, kill. I don't even worry about that because I didn't come to be stolen from. I'm not going anywhere to be robbed. What I'm expecting is life and that more abundantly. And so I want to invite you to take on that same mindset because your mentality affects your reality. Your mindset affects your asset. Poverty does not begin with your bank account. Poverty begins in your mind, and then it shows up in your bank account or the lack thereof. Okay? Again, I say all of that to encourage you to make. We're just about at the end of another year. Can you imagine this? Brother Glenn, I'm just thinking the other day. I'm like, I just put this Christmas tree in the garage. I just got through packing it up, did it so neatly, taped the box up, put all the bulbs away, and I'm like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me I got to go right back out there in that garage, dig it out, and set up the tree again? I'm telling you, time is just, I don't know what's going on, man, but it is just simply blowing by. So I that's why I'm taking advantage of every day. Every day. I'm taking full advantage. I'm going to live. That's why my daughters, the two of my daughters and we all went out one weekend and we went skydiving. I'm not talking about the I fly. I'm talking about we literally jumped out an airplane. Yes, sir. Glenn's looking at me like, what? Yeah. 18,000 feet. I'm living. Trust me, I'm going to live. Somebody said, if you keep jumping out of 18,000 feet, you ain't going to live. No, I'm talking about I'm living all of life. And and anyone that's around me going to live it too. I'm going to make sure of it. And that's all I'm saying to you. But listen, this is not a rehearsal, folks. This is the only chance you get to live your life and live it to the fullest. Okay? Yes, there are going to be challenges. Yes, there are going to be things that are going to happen that were unexpected. But if you continue to plow forward, things are going to turn around for you. Things are going to happen. Things are going to come to your life. And I'm telling you, it's all about your mentality. If you believe it, you receive it. The Bible says it just clearly as that. Whatsoever things thou canst believe, those are the things that you're going to begin to experience. If you can believe it, you will receive it. No matter what you're going through, I understand. There's some unexpected trauma, things that happen. I understand that. But it's what you believe is what you're going to receive. Okay? I do want to say a special condolences to the Bishop Derek Hutchins and his entire family, both church family and immediate family. I believe there are some arrangements being done for this weekend. Brother Glenn, you got I just thought of that, so I didn't bring any notes with me, but I just remembered he passed while we were away in Africa. And I think the homegoing services is probably this weekend. So I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Also, did you know, in the realm of pop culture, If I don't know if you guys watch Ellen when she was on, she spent about 20 years on the air on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And did you remember the guy that was her DJ? They called his name was Twitch, and he was a very talented individual. I'm telling you, not only was he a DJ, but he was super dancer. He added value to her daily broadcast, and we just got word that DJ Steven is dead at the age of 40. I mean, a youngster. And the initial word that I got is that he died by suicide. So, folks, this issue of mental health is for real. There are people out that are suffering. Just because everyone you see may be wearing a smile, you've got to have almost a spiritual discernment to be able to see them for who they really are and the things that they may be facing. And so our thoughts and prayers, of course, go out to DJ Stephen, a.k.a. Twitch, and to his family, and that we're praying for you. And, of course, the Right Reverend Bishop Derek Hutchins. And we're going to be giving you some more information on his homegoing service that are happening, I believe, this weekend. Then again, I want to also take a selfish kind of plug and remind you to join us this Sunday at the Movement Church. You know, people have been coming and they get in kind of late. You know, we start at 1 p.m., but some people get in a little after that because they're having trouble finding the location. Now, if you know how to get to Orange Blossom Trail, where Orange Blossom Trail meets John Young Parkway, and then you just go maybe another block north on OBT, you'll come right by the 7-Eleven that's right there on the corner of Rose, there, Winter Rose. I had a brain fog there. Right there on the corner of OBT and Winter Rose Drive. There's a 7-Eleven right there, and we are worshiping. We're actually sharing facility with the Dedicated to Christ ministry. So you'll see they have a larger presence. Their sign is larger, so you might see Dedicated to Christ. But we're meeting in that same location at 1 p.m., so it's a shared facility that we're using. And then we have our own flags out there as well, the Movement Church. So check us out at 1 p.m. this Sunday, 3839 Winter Rose Drive, right here in Orlando. We'd love to have you there, be our very special guest. I'm going to be there. My wife, Prophetess Francina Norman, is going to be there as well. It's going to be an amazing time, and we're going to show you the hospitality you deserve. Brother Glenn, you got some insight for me?
For Bishop Derek W. Hutchins, these are the official arrangements. The public viewing is going to be this Friday, the 16th at 12 noon. From 12 to 6 o'clock, you can go and pay respect to the bishop at New.
To remember the late, great Reverend Bishop Derek Hutchins, the senior